We're talking Badlands 2025 training, equipment, parkour, strategy, and everything in between. Sarah, you've been training for 12 months, give or take, and the moment is almost here. Badlands is upon us.
I know. I feel like my mood has taken a dip over the last couple of weeks because the nerves are ramping up, and I'm just constantly thinking about it and ruminating on every single detail of this race.
Before we jump in and get heavy on the details, you want to give us like a brief overview for someone who doesn't know what we're talking about? What is Badlands and what are you doing?
Yeah, so Badlands is a race that begins in Granada in Spain. It starts in about 2 weeks, 31st of August. 814 or...
I think it's 818. I hate to break it to you.
Oh no, those extra 4 kilometres will probably break me. There will be tears. There's almost 15,000 metres of climbing, and we'll be going through, all of this remote, diverse, loads of challenging climbs. We'll be going through a desert at one point. So very technical gravel climbing and descents, and it's all self-supported. So you have to basically go in, stop along villages as you go along and top up with water and food.
It's not a stage race. It's a one-day.
It's not a stage race, yeah.
Sorry for anyone who knows what Badlands is, but just a lot of people won't. It's you start... Time starts rolling, and the time stops when you cross the finish line. 814 or 818 kilometers later. If you sleep, you can sleep for as long or as little as you want, but that clock is still running. It's not like a multi-day event.
Exactly. And personally, I'm going to go and treat it as a personal race for myself. So I'm not going to go and spend 10 hours in a hotel and get loads of sleep. I will be hitting hotels, but I am also going to be prepared to sleep outside as well. We talked about this in a recent podcast. You're going to have a completely different experience, or that's the plan anyway.
Yeah, I remember watching this. I think we watched it together a couple of years ago, and we recently rewatched it again. The first time I became aware of Badlands, it was Lachlan Morton's EF Gun Race in Badlands. You should go back and watch it if anyone hasn't seen it. It's absolutely gas. But Lachlan does a big send and rides straight through, basically without any sleep. But the second placed rider is also a pro, lower level pro, continental level, training partner of Lachlan's, and he's like absolutely dead. He used to put his buff down his shorts because his arse is so shaved.
And that was pretty early on. He had to put the buff down his shorts. I don't know if he really knew what he was getting himself into.
I don't think anyone did in those early days. And I think that's been like, Badlands isn't around that long. It's, I'm going to say less than 5-6 years old, or maybe it was, much smaller back in the day, but David's done a great job of blowing it up.
Yeah. And that was kind of the thing. Like, I watched you get prepared for Badlands 2 years ago and train for it, really kind of drill down on all the nitty gritty details on kit, gearing, every little detail, and went over to Granada with you and waved you off to the start line, and I was like, oh, that's so amazing. It's just such a crazy, it sounds like such a crazy adventure. I would love to be able to do that. I'll never get to do something like that. And then this year I was just like, sure, why can't I train for it and prepare for it and go and have this amazing adventure? And actually, Anthony, just to bring you back again to kind of how you're planning on not really racing it this year, you're going to go and enjoy each day as an experience. We did speak about potentially doing it together then, and you were like, well, no, because this is your adventure, you should go out and experience.
I think it'll ruin your experience as well. And I know it's like, it feels like a safety net probably, because some of your stuff, and we'll get into it now, like some of your fears are around, a mechanical that you can't fix, or just, being exposed out in the desert on your own, which are all very like legitimate concerns. But it's like having me there will be a safety blanket, I think, that changes the whole experience for you.
Yeah,
I also am kind of there as well. Yeah. Like I'm either up the road or back the road, depending on who sleeps more or less. But, you can always call and I can double back for you. It's not like a race that's super important to me. It's just going out to have some fun. But I think let's maybe start off with equipment, because everyone geeks out, and we've been lucky enough with the podcast to have some amazing contacts, but we kind of have geeked out on equipment as well, and you've tested a lot of different combos. You're rocking SRAM Red, old, reliable, for me, best in the game. It just has that versatility around a couple of elements to it. The batteries on SRAM, just game changer for me, being able to bring a spare battery, pop it in. I think the SRAM read the ergonomics of the levers make it a lot nicer choice than a Shimano or a Campag for a long day of riding, because there's more space around the grip. It's just a little bit more comfortable as well.
And what I have set up on my levers only a couple of days ago was changing the feels on my bike computer, on my Hammerhead.
Oh, you just actually
set it up. So I'm going to be using that. I think that's an amazing feature for all that technical riding and descending.
It only works with your Hammerhead though. You can't if someone's using a different computer.
Okay,
it's
Hammerhead
SRAM
only.
And Hammerhead are
connected.
Yeah, they're the same company required. Gearing wise, went back and forth a lot on gearing, and you went on a bike packing trip last week to test under load the gearing, and we've kind of settled on a 48-35 up front with a 10-36 on the back. The reason for this is there's some super steep climbs in Badlands that it looks like on paper maybe a 35-36 mightn't be quite an easy enough gear. You could have went with more of a mountain bikey gear, like a 32 on the front. But we kind of decided that if a climb is that steep, it's probably not worth the effort to try and ride it. That the expenditure of effort to get up it is just not worth it. Just get off and walk that section if it's that steep. Like if you can't get up it with a 35-36, it's too steep to ride and it's going to take too much energy out of you.
Yeah, if you think about all the luggage I'm going to be carrying as well, the added weight of that, plus you're on a gravel bike, even for some of the pitches that I've looked into on some of the really kind of tricky climbs, we've got 20% plus. I'm never going to be riding up those anyway. Even if I was on my road bike, you know, just out for a couple of hours, I would struggle getting up those. So yeah, I think the gearing, I'm pretty confident in the gearing after testing it a couple of times, and yeah, I'm happy to go with that.
And then the 2-by as opposed to the 1-by gives you that range on the front, where because there is a lot of downhill, there is a lot of flat, so you can push a little bit on the downhill. Like a 48-10 is a big gear, so you can push a lot on the downhill, which obviously you're under load, which on the downhill that's going to speed you up rather than slow you down. So there's plenty of range with the 2-by, whereas I'm going to go with a 1-by setup, not as much range, but this podcast is about you and not me, so I'm not going into my setup. Bike computer, as I said, you're happy enough. You're going Hammerhead. You're happy enough following GPX files and routing on that. Yeah,
I've been practicing a lot with that because any race that I have done previously, the Rift, for instance, that was all very much, it was all. There was flags if you did turn. There was a couple of marshals here and there. And speaking to Aaron Bogle, who's done this race a few times, he has warned me that the navigation around Badlands is very tricky and it's quite easy to go wrong. So I have been practicing with that. So fingers crossed, I don't make any huge mistakes. I mean, I don't want to add on an extra 50 kilometers to this route at all. So that's something that I will be watching really carefully.
Wheels, you're on Zip 303 XPL or SW.
They are savage. Yeah. Probably the most fabulous add-on that I've put onto my gravel bike in the last couple of months. It's hard to really describe and put into words the feeling and, this like motion that you're getting propelled or something, or everything's just easier. The wheels to me have been a revelation. I didn't think that good wheels and the proper tyre choice, I guess, with that could make such an enormous difference.
Yeah, and tyres, you're going Vittoria Terreno T60, which is a mixed gravel tyre, T50, little bit less puncture resistance, more hard pack stuff. There is some real loose sections here, like as loose as beaches. It doesn't get any looser than a beach. 45 mil. It's not going to be, I don't think, any more. You're not going to be underbiked on that. I think you have plenty of tyre.
I think it's going to be okay.
Most of it, especially with the long sections. Dynamic sealant inside, which you won't know because you don't put your own tyres on, but you have dynamic sealant inside.
Hopefully I will never see that sealant. That would be the dream. It's okay if it's just a spray and it catches it, but I don't want to be taking tyres off to put tubes in. That to me is going to be worrisome.
We've elected not go with inserts for your setup. The reason being a conversation with Alex Wild where he thinks it just changes the feel of the bike totally. And you have spent a lot of time on your gravel bike getting used to handling. I would say you're quite a good your handling's developed faster than your fitness is in a lot of ways. Like you're a better bike handler than the level you are on the bike, if that makes sense.
Which is kind of scary.
Yeah, but it's good because the worst thing you can really be is fast on a bad bike handler.
Yeah.
So at least you're slow and a good boy.
There you go, everyone. Anthony has actually given me a compliment.
It was kind of a
compliment. He's like, you're not fast or fit, but you can handle your bike.
No,
Well, I'll take
you're fit
it.
for sure. Not fast, fit. Fit's the goal for this. The bag setup. We were playing around all week with bags, and it's maybe the main question that you get around Badlands or bike packing is like, what bags are you using? How are you carrying all this stuff?
Yeah.
So we're super lucky to have Tailfin providing the bags for us, and Tailfin's just a piece of art if anyone hasn't checked it out. So you've gone with the Carbon Aero Tailfin pack, then you've gone with the seat tube bag, it goes under the top tube bag.
Yep, top tube bag.
And then have we figured out what your next one? Are you going to triangle?
No, I'm going to go, so yeah, Tailfin on the back, as in kind of like a saddle bag.
Tailfin Aero bag, yeah.
Aero bag.
Aero
it's
pack.
an aero pack, yes. I'm going to go with the top tube bag up near where my handlebars are, because I want to have everything, I want to have everything there super easy, accessible. I'm not going to go for the second bag on the top tube. I'm going to go for the frame bag. Yes, so I basically have 3 bags.
And no handlebar bag.
No handlebar bag. It's just, I just don't think I'm going to need it. I'll have loads of room.
I'm playing around with the idea of bringing a handlebar bag and the Tailfin Aero pack, and because I might bring a tent.
You're going to bring a tent, yeah.
No one brings a tent.
You're weak. I'm bringing a bivvy.
Tent.
I think we should talk about what we're putting into the bags as well. So
but before you jump, go for that. Yeah, I was going to jump on something else first, but that makes more sense. Do that.
Yeah, so everyone is asking me, are you going to stay in hotels? Are you camping? So I'm going to do a mix. That's the plan. I mean, I've often spoke about the issues that I'm having with saddle sores at the moment. So for me, getting into a hotel and getting a shower and a proper wash will be really important.
Leave?
I'll see. I'm going to see how I'm feeling. I think if I book into a hotel, I'll try and sleep
for 11 hours.
I wake up, that your alarm goes off.
The first time I rode Badlands, I talked about this before. I broke DI2 after like 10k, dropped out. But I was in a team with one of my friends, Aaron Carney, who's been on the podcast before. I think we've done a Badlands podcast. But I was watching the dot tracker and dot watcher, and it's super fun to do. And I'm sure everyone will be doing it. We'll put our dot watcher links on Instagram. You can check them out. But I was watching the dot watcher after day 1, and I was like, wow, fair player. And he's like pegged with Leo Wilcox. Like after day 1, he's like, there's 10k between him and Leo Wilcox. Yeah. I was like, this is amazing. So I went to bed or whatever, 10 o'clock that night, woke up the next morning, I checked dot watcher, and he was 440 kilometers behind Leo Wilcox. I was like, what happened? The dream was alive.
Did he sleep it out?
He obviously had. She slept. Lael's been on the podcast.
For anyone who doesn't know Lael, she's probably the best ultra distance rider in the world, and for many reasons, but one of her superpowers is that she can just go and not sleep at all. I was
talking to her yesterday actually, so she's coming back on the podcast after Badlands.
Oh amazing. Is she going to be in Badlands?
Actually don't know, I never asked her if she's doing Badlands.
Right, okay, it'd be so cool to meet her in the flesh. So what am I packing? I am going to be wearing a jersey and bib shorts. I'm going to pack an extra jersey and bib shorts, extra socks.
Puck? All
yes, all POC. And then I'm going to bring a very light sleeping bag, a bivvy bag.
Bivvy bag's
over
grim.
that. It's grim, but
if anyone hasn't seen a bivvy bag, it's basically a bin.
It's like a plastic bag.
It's a bin liner.
Yeah, it's a bin liner that you hop into. That it kind of makes it a little bit more waterproof and windproof.
The only people who like bivvying are people who've never been bivvying.
And I have never been bivvying before. I'm going to bring a light puffer jacket because there are some long descents and we do get quite high up into altitude. So I do need to have a little jacket with me as well. And really that's it. I'll have some like toiletries with me. I'll have my toothbrush. I'm going to cut off half of that to save weight, but
for the memes.
So toothpaste, toothbrush, that's it. And
you're
then my
toothpaste
tools. And then
you're not bringing toothpaste.
I am bringing toothpaste. You're disgusting. And then I'm going to bring all my tools. So I'm bringing a multi-tool, 2 latex tubes, carbon dioxide canisters, a hand pump, and what else? Plugs, yeah. Oh, and a patch as well. A patch.
Tire boot.
You've
got some actual old school patches in case you puncture a million times.
Couple of times, yeah, exactly.
Chain breaker, power link, spare valve. Yes. Sarah hasn't a clue what's in her saddlebag.
Yeah, I've got it all packed up there, so ready to go. So that's basically what I'm bringing. Have you anything different with you, seeing as you're taking the long way around?
No, basically similar. what we have been also testing as well as bags this week is lights. And light setups are super important going out, obviously, to a desert riding through the night. So we've settled with exposure. We're both going to ride identical lights. The exposure lights, I think we're actually going to go, are we going to plan a little bit of an overnighter before we go? If we have time, we might do
we're going to go and test everything.
Short, easy overnighter to the final tests. Exposure lights, we're going with the Toro MK15 under the bars. I went with the bigger one last time. I think it's the MK16, the 6-pack one. It's just too heavy. It's more of a mountain bike light. Super light. It's like turning nighttime into daytime. Yeah. But it's a bit more than you need for a trip like this.
It's like one of those spotlights they put on the prisoners when they're trying to escape.
It's like search, a lad climbing over the fence, over Trump's wall, and you.
It's like the bat, the bat light they shine over into the light. That was insane.
Yeah. So I don't think you need that much horsepower at that low speed. So the Toro MK15 under the bars and the Diablo MK14 on the helmets. Those exposure lights couldn't be any cooler. They feel like they're just so well made. Yeah. And when you look at the reviews, I spent a long time going down the rabbit hole on reviews and stuff on lights. But there's guys who bought their lights like 5-6 years ago and they send them back to exposure and they fix them and send them back out to them.
Yeah, that's
like, it's phenomenal service, but it's just such a cool light. Like it feels like, I don't know, the craftsmanship of a gun or something. It's a fully sealed steel light. Yeah,
it's just sturdy. It just feels trustworthy, doesn't it? I'm also going to run a little red light on the back of my bike as well.
We have to. So
we have to do that.
Don't worry, I got your exposure one as well.
I'm going to have a little normal light on the front as well, just for visibility. So like a
in case a car hits you or something.
Yeah, just in case. I think.
I got us a little exposure set front and back.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Yeah. No, just as I said, a few people I spoke to have done it already. We're kind of saying.
What's the point of that?
I don't know. I think when it's kind of dusky, maybe they say to put it on rather than your full light.
You've got a headlight as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and you don't have to, but I will. You have the sun. Listen, you don't have to do it, but I'm going to do it.
A hydration pack?
Yes, a hydration pack. I mean, they are so comfortable. The hydration pack, I can't get over
I don't know
how
to
amazing.
That brand either.
USWE? Yeah, actually, good job. USWE, yeah. That's when I'm rocking 2 litre, and then I'm also going to have 2 2-litre bottles on my bike. They basically say do not even attempt this race unless you've got 3 to 5 litres of water on you at all time. So that's kind of where I am with the hydration.
I have a third bottle cage on my bike, so I don't have to overkill bringing 3 bottles and the hydration pack. I've nothing really good or bad to say about the hydration pack. It's a hydration pack. Like, you can't get too excited about it.
I think they're made. They're so handy, especially, as I said, I always say on the gravel when you don't want to be reaching down for a bottle. I would consider bringing a third hydration pack or bottle, but I don't know. I'm just kind of weighing up between the weight of another litre. Another litre of water is going to be an extra kilo on the bike. So kind of weighing, yeah. Okay.
Hey everybody, let's take a quick break to talk about the bike I'll be riding this season, Reap. I've been lucky enough to ride all the top brands in the world over the past few years, but these Reap bikes, they're not the same, and I'll tell you why. Reap is the first company I've seen that isn't chasing sales targets and the mass market. They're chasing something very rare, perfection. Every bike they make, it's crafted in the UK factory, and it's not about slapping a Made in Britain label on a bike from a Chinese factory. It's about control. From the first sketch to the final build, they're hands-on, ensuring that every detail is dialed in. That's very rare in an outsourced world of mass production. What sets them apart is innovation. While others pump out the same old designs, Reap's pushing boundaries. They're not following trends, they're setting trends. Think precision and performance, like an F1 car for the road. Absolutely no compromises. And it shows, and you can feel it when you ride the bikes. These bikes are built for riders who demand the best, whether they're chasing podiums or just want a machine that feels like an extension of your body, a piece of art. It's not hype, it's substance. Ride a Reap for yourself and you're riding something crafted with intent. So if you're serious about cycling, check them out. It's reapbikes.com. I absolutely love my one and I couldn't recommend it highly enough. Back to the show.
Moving on.
Training, you're checking in with your coach?
Yes. So my coach,
You're tapering.
I just don't know how somebody would train for an event like this and not have a coach, because it has been such a long, process to get me from from couch to doing this race.
Couch to 818k plan. They're hard to find on the templates on the internet.
Oh, so I really, really just can't say enough about having a coach. Obviously, Anthony, you've been coaching me, and I think we've navigated getting sick, fatigue levels, saddle sores. Again, that's been my biggest issue. I had a knee injury in the middle, but having the coach, I honestly feel so fit. I feel so strong. I feel very, very prepared for this. I have to say, I'm a little bit, my motivation levels to train this week have been super low. I think I'm, maybe just ready to race now. I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm over going out and out in the roads for like 7 hours on my own now. I just want to get over to Granada and start this like amazing adventure. So I am really glad to be starting the taper. Can you talk about the taper?
Yes, you're starting taper. The idea with the taper is to just get rid of all the fatigue. You've built a lot of fatigue in specifically the last month or so. You've been training hard, bit of intensity, quite a bit of duration, and now it's time to shell some of that fatigue while keeping so you're trying to get freshness, keep the fitness, and kill the fatigue. So it's a little bit of a balance of throwing in a little bit of intensity, but killing most of the duration. So you've a hard enough spin tonight, but it's only going to be a 90-minute 2-hour spin. Same again, you're off Friday. Same again Saturday, you've hard but short spin. Sunday you're off again, and we're traveling next week. So it's probably a 10-day taper into this, which is on the long side for a taper. The taper is proportionate really to the length of the event and the length of the build up. So yeah, it's been good. Look, you've made massive gains from, I'd say you've added 50, 60 watts onto your 20-minute power, and we haven't really focused on 20-minute power at all. I don't think you've done many 20-minute efforts. It's been more looking at aerobic efficiency and decoupling, so looking at heart rate to power and seeing how that's improved ratio, and it's been massive improvement. You came pretty untrained, like you hadn't followed many structured training plans before. So those newbie gains, which are massive, and you rode that wave. I think you're very, very well prepared for it. Like you showed in Rift how well prepared you are for it. Like you were, you won your age group in Rift, which was an absolute
shock to everybody.
Yeah. Double checking the results there.
I think as well that what you have to kind of remember when you're training for something like this, and again, just to bring it back to having a coach, is that you're training for this specific event. We have a section in the Roadman Saturday spin on a Saturday where everybody sprints each other at the airport section. And I mean, I have nothing at that, because what I have been training for over the last 10, 12 months is just building this big endurance engine. So, and you do need somebody to help you navigate that and kind of figure out what are the important bits.
And it's a sticky mix though, because you're not just trying to go and do a race across America where it's, pavement all the way across. You're trying not to die when you're fatigued on super technical descents. So there's been a lot of work on off-road. Understanding that if the wheels move under you, it's okay. Mountain biking underbiked on some sections, like where you're riding gravel bikes on blue trails and red trails, really building a skill set to get you through sticky situations. So it's been fitness and skills getting built in tandem over probably a 10-month preparation. Almost here.
Okay, whoa, I'm getting even more nervous now.
What have we missed? Pacing wise, I think it's just staying within yourself, staying on top of hydration plan, staying on top of fueling plan. You've tested your fueling plan quite robustly over Rift. Is probably the best test of it. You kind of know what's working for you. You're going with what gels are you using?
Never Second.
Gels are very individual. I don't think I will use Never Second. I got a bad dose of the shits at Rift. Newer gels.
That wasn't pretty for you, but I found them absolutely brilliant. So very individual.
Heat adaptation. I've done loads of podcasts on heat at this stage. Heat's the new altitude. We didn't really use heat for physiological adaptations. There was no heat training. Just felt maybe the risk to reward of trying something new for the first time into the A priority event wasn't really worth it. So instead he used heat more just from an acclimation point of view, with some sauna exposure and sleeping setup. You've gone through that. Hydration strategy, we've gone through that. Anything else I'm missing?
No, not really. I just want to run through a couple of the the kind of bits that are probably making me the most nervous about the route. Look, it's a big, long race. And the thing is that as soon as the starting gun goes off, you're basically into climbing immediately. For at kilometre 0 to 19, there's a 19 kilometre climb straight away. And
so actually, I haven't looked at the parkour at all. That's going to be heartbreaking.
We've got almost 1,000 metres in that 19 kilometres. So the average is around 5% for that. So that's going to be kind of, hello, welcome to Badlands.
Well, that's going to be after an hour and you've 10k done and you're looking at it and
going, oh my God, I've got another 700 and
800.
800 so I can't even do maths.
What do the Giro d'Italia, Stage Slayer, Mads Pedersen and half the professional peloton have in common? Well, they're all turning to NOMIO, the natural performance enhancer proven to reduce lactate buildup during intense efforts. In the 2025 Giro d'Italia, Pedersen's form was undeniable. The Danish star surged to 4-stage victories. This was a major leap in form from his previous season, and a key part of this preparation and performance was NOMIO. Developed by the same researchers who discovered the performance power of dietary nitrate. You know those beetroot shots that half the peloton were using? NOMIO is clinically proven to lower lactate levels, reduce oxidative stress, improve training adaptations, and deliver a noticeable boost from the very first time you take it. Riders are reporting bigger threshold power, fresher legs mid-race, and quicker recovery, all from a formula made with just 3 natural ingredients: broccoli sprouts, lemon, and sugar. Whether you're racing at the front or you're smashing local segments, NOMIO helps you get more out of every ride. Take it before key sessions or races for an immediate edge, or take your training to the next level and get more out of your hard work. Go to drinknomio.com, that's NOMIO, and check out this game-changing supplement. Details are in the episode show notes or description down below.
The other things that I'm kind of a little bit nervous about are, there's a few climbs, like look, we have a lot of climbs that are over 20, 25, 30 kilometres long, and the average gradients on those are over 6%. So that will, I know that those are going to be really, really tough. Again, in the middle of those, you've got pitches of between 15 and 17%. So they're going to be like pretty challenging for me, but as you said, I'm just going to try and pace myself through them. The other thing I think to watch out for is the descending, because we do have like a lot of really long technical descents in Badlands. So it's just about, I think, staying hydrated, full concentration, getting down those safely. And then the other really standout part to me is this beach section that everybody talks about, where it's like 10 kilometres along the beach.
It's not that far, is it?
Yeah, I think it's quite long, and it's all sand.
No, it's not
a lot
10K,
of hike.
it's not 10K.
You don't think so?
No, maybe it's 10K treading the coast, but it's not a 10K hike
Okay.
bike section.
Okay.
No, it's a much shorter hike bike, unless it's totally new this year. The hike bike section, I think, if you look at even the video of Lachlan, he's pushing for like a couple of minutes.
Oh, I thought it was like way longer than that. Okay, that's after setting me at ease a little bit. As soon as we come out of that section, though, there's 3 big climbs, one after the other, 21 kilometres, 18 kilometres and 14 kilometres climbs, and they all have about...
That's the length of the climbs?
Yeah, and they all have... They're back to back to back. They all have gradients of about 5 to 6%. And it said that on the handbook, individually, they're very manageable, but together they're a sustained workload. So I think coming out of the beach area in Almeria, going into those 3 climbs is going to be a real challenge for me. So that's
There's
kind
also
of
the Graffy Desert part, which is the longest period without access to services. Or it's a kind of point of no return. You don't want to hit that, like, with no food, fatigued. You kind of want to hit that almost fresh in the morning if it's possible to rest up. Like, I think, is that I think it's like 220 or something into the race. Exactly.
So I don't think, strategy wise, I'll be going past 220 or 230 for day number 1.
Yeah, if you got to 200 on day 1,
that would be amazing.
That's pretty amazing. But you definitely want to leave that striking distance. You don't want to finish day 1 at like 140 because then you're like 100k riding before you get to that the next day. And it's like, you want to be hitting that in the first half of the next day.
No, I think day number 1 has to be a big send to get to the edge of the Graffy Desert and then, fuel up, get some sleep and plan from there.
But also I think you got to hit it. I don't know much about deserts, but they don't sound like the coolest, most sheltered place. So I don't think you want to hit that at midday sun.
No. So maybe get to the village beforehand, get a few hours sleep, and then maybe leave in the middle of the night.
Yeah, if you could hit it. I don't know if you want to be hitting that at night either. I'm thinking strategy wise, if I can hit that, be starting at like 7 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I don't know.
We'll see.
What's
best laid plans?
Plans all great until you get punched in the face, isn't it? And I think Badlands has the potential to punch us in the face for sure. So we're heading out on the
28th. Yeah, race kicks off on the 31st. The cutoff point is the 5th at 2 p.m. And I just want to say that Wes, our videographer, is coming out as well.
Oh, we're going to make a documentary.
We're going to make a documentary.
We've never made documentaries.
There's really strict rules about Wes. He can't really, he can stick a camera in our face, but he can't really talk to us. He obviously can't give us food or water or anything like that. So it's quite strict. But yeah, you'll be able to see Anthony and myself in all of our glory. And
there is a puck shakeout ride the day before or the day before that. Watch our socials and we're going to be on that one as well. Yeah, I think that's a Badlands wrap, I think.
Yeah, can't wait.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hopefully we survive. Hopefully we make it. Let us know in the comments below.
Hopefully our relationship survives.
Yeah, hopefully it all survives. Let us know in the comments below if you would attempt something like Badlands, Silk Road Mountain Race or anything like that. Chat next day.